Hello everyone, Clem McGrath here with answers to your questions. And there's one question that I get asked so often, and it's how to deal with emotions. I did refer to this on the video about rejection, but I wanted to go into it a bit more on this video as well. Because when you think about it, virtually all the stress and strife and conflict that we experience in our lives, and even on a broader scale, is caused by uncontrolled emotion. We go through things in life, things that challenge us, things that may hurt us in our relationships, with our health, in our affairs, and we end up with emotions that we struggle with. So how do we deal with emotions? Is there an effective, creative way that we can deal with them? The first thing to remember is that emotion is energy that is passing through your nervous system. The word is emotion. It is energy in motion, and it needs to move through our nervous system. So it moves through our nervous system and on out in a healthy way. But what happens is we tend to jam it. We hold on to it, and it goes round and round and round inside of us. And it causes our minds to go round and round as well. The two go together, the emotion and the thought. For example, I'm guessing that you're sitting there watching this in a relaxed way, perhaps feeling quite calm. Now if I suddenly said to you, get angry, or be scared, you'd more than likely think, well, how? I'm not angry at the moment, I'm not scared. However, if I say to you, think about something that makes you angry, or think about something that makes you scared, very soon you'll start to feel the feeling. Because the thought and the emotion are two sides of the same coin. And the thought drives the energy through our nervous system and creates all the sensations that we experience, whether it's the pounding heart or your stomach churned up or tension in your shoulders, whatever it might be. So there are two things that we need to take care of. The first one is the mindfulness with the emotions and allowing the emotions in the same way that I talked about on the rejection video. So if your stomach's all screwed up, for example, or you feel that tension, the usual impulse is to try and get rid of it in some way, and when we act out, we're often just trying to relieve that feeling in our nervous system so we can feel better. And it may help for a while, but unfortunately it will come back again if deeper things aren't taken care of. So, a more creative, healing way is to allow the sensations and to practice mindfulness. And that simply means just bringing our attention onto the sensations and the feelings, letting them be there, without judgment, without resistance, and without trying to push them away. Just letting them be there. Feel those sensations, feel those feelings. And then of course to breathe. Open up the breath and breathe right through the sensations. If you do that, the sensation will change. The intensity will ease off and you'll start to feel better. Simple as that. So that's what you do in the moment. And again, remembering that you are bigger than the emotion. You are there before the emotion, through the emotion, and after the emotion. You are bigger than the emotion. And I really emphasize that because one of the instinctive fears that comes up is this emotion will overwhelm me. It's too big. I can't cope with it. And when we think that, we're literally telling ourselves that we are smaller than the emotion. Not true. We are bigger than the emotion. And when we can find a creative way to deal with it, as I'm suggesting, then we will prove that to ourselves. Hey, I'm bigger than this emotion. I can be in charge. Simple as that. That's the first thing. The second thing is taking care of our thoughts. And this is more of an ongoing process. And there are two levels. First of all, if you're struggling with a really difficult emotion that may have been triggered perhaps by a relationship breakup or an argument or some stress that's going on in your life, there'll be thoughts or conclusions that the emotion suggests. Could be, I'm going to be left all alone, or they won't like me, I'm going to be rejected. It means that I'm not a very nice person. So we have these conclusions that the emotion suggests. And the only problem is we believe them. We believe that's true, that we're going to be left alone or that we're not a good person. And that's not true. It is just a belief. So we need to be aware of, what am I concluding, what am I assuming because of these feelings that are going on, triggered off by a particular situation. And then challenge that conclusion. Is that true? Is it actually true that I'm going to be left alone or that I'm not a good person? Really challenge that and ask yourself, is it the truth or is it just a belief? And of course, if it's just a belief, guess what? You can change it. You can find another belief that will serve you better. Simple as that. And we can go into that in another video, how we actually change core beliefs. I don't have time on this video. So that's one level, is the conclusions and the assumptions that are suggested by the emotion. The other one, the other level, are the beliefs or the thoughts that we carry in our minds all the time. We have core beliefs about ourselves, about life, about relationships, about other people. And there are some quite common core beliefs, which I call universal because they are so common. Things like life's a struggle. You have to expect conflict in relationships. You can't trust men. Women are irrational. There's all these beliefs that people tend to carry, and again, they believe that they are the truth. What will happen? A situation arises, and that will be filtered through the core belief. In another sphere, let's say in your affairs, you're in business or you're doing something, and you carry a belief that you're a failure or that things don't work out for you. So up comes a problem or a challenge or something doesn't work out as you want it to. Guess what will happen? You will filter that through the belief and conclude, oh, there we go. Things don't work out for me. I'm a failure. I can't do it. So you filter the event through the thoughts and the beliefs. That triggers the emotion, which gets caught in the nervous system and then creates those conclusions I was talking about. So here we are caught in a whole vicious circle. So there are a few ideas about emotions. We can work to resolve the emotions in the moment using the breath, using the mindfulness, using acceptance. And then we need to look at and challenge the beliefs and the conclusions that sit around those emotions. And when we can do that, then we'll find that we don't react in the same way. We can stay calm in situations where we used to react. We don't need to get uptight about certain people or certain possibilities. We can keep ourselves centered, connected, calm. We can breathe fully and openly. And then we can see other possibilities, other options for how to respond and for how our life can be. So there we have it. Work with those ideas. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Thank you. This is Clem McGrath signing off.